My name is William A. Meeks. I would like to tell you about my life and the settlement of Buoyo. I was born in Spencer County, Indiana on January 9, 1815. My parents were A. Meeks and Anna Vest. I was the oldest of 12 children. When I was 22 years old, I married Mary Elizabeth Rhodes. She was called Betsy and was 18 years old. She was born on January 23, 1819 in Boonville, Warwick County, Indiana. Her parents were Henry Rhodes and Elizabeth Knopfsinger. My father and I worked in agriculture. Our first two children were born in Spencer County. Harvey Henry was born on April 9, 1838 and Henry Rhodes was born on March 23, 1840. During the year 1840, my uncle, Pretty Meeks, introduced us to the teachings of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We were converted to the church. In the spring of 1842, we gathered to Nauvoo, Hancock County, Illinois to be with the main body of the saints. We settled in the boundaries of the 3rd Civil Ward. While living here, our daughter, Mary Elizabeth, was born on June 11, 1842. In June of 1843, I was one of 300 men who volunteered to rescue the prophet Joseph Smith, who had been kidnapped on the pretense of legal proceedings. I was one of the 55 men who boarded the steamboat Maid of Iowa to look for the prophet. We went up and down the Mississippi River and up the Illinois rivers looking for him. The following month, I was one of 81 other men assigned to go to the county surrounding Hancock County to preach the gospel and explain the alleged arrest of the prophet. I was called to Greene County. Our fourth child, Mary Ann, was born November 23, 1845. Less than 4 months later, in February 1846, the saints were forced to leave Nauvoo. I went with the first group as a member of the police, leaving my family behind. I returned to Nauvoo for my family and we left in May 1846 with the final wave of saints, which became known as the Poor Camp. We caught up with the main group at Winter Quarters. We settled in the Winter Quarters 15th Ward. I continued to work as a picket guard under Hosea Stout. Our fifth child, William, was born here on February 18, 1847. Our next child, Joseph Brigham, was born January 8, 1848. Since we weren't prepared to go west, in 1848 we moved back across the Missouri River to an area we called Buoyo. Buoyo was a collection of several cabins. It was located close to Rocky Ford and Shirts Camp, near the Boyer River. The map shows the location of Shirts Camp and the Rocky Ford settlement. Mary Jane was born here on December 2, 1851. On July 9, 1851, the Buoyo branch and the Rocky Ford branches were merged. I was appointed president with Willis Boren and William Mendenhall as counselors. On August 17, 1851, it was decided to call the branch the Union Branch on Buoyo. In 1852, we were instructed to gather to the Utah Territory. Myself, my wife and 7 children with ages ranging from 14 years to several months crossed the plains in the David Wood Company. Our family was in the 4th 10 under Captain William Mendenhall. We settled in Springville, Utah County, but later moved to the Heber Valley. I was the first bishop in the valley. By 1862, we moved to St. George, Utah to answer a call from the general authorities. In 1877, I was riding my horse and struck my head on a pole that stuck out over the sidewalk over Charles Terry's workshop. I died a few days later on November 30, 1877. I was buried in the St. George Cemetery. Betsy survived me by 22 years. She was living with her daughter Melissa in Bicknell, Utah. She died on March 29, 1899 and is buried in Bicknell. This is my sojourn in the wilderness story. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my journey.